Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, what really happened in the State Park kidnapping.
And more about an arson arrest right here in Oswego.
Plus, a new book to read written very close to home.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ed Lundquist.
And I'm Hazel Montalvo.
We have the man, but not the motive. Tonight, a suspect in the kidnapping of 9-year-old Charlotte Senna at a Capital Region State Park has been arrested. 46-year-old Craig Nelson Ross Jr. was arrested Monday night in his camper home and has been charged with kidnapping in the first degree.
Ross was discovered as a suspect after his fingerprints were found on a ransom note left at the Senna household early Monday morning. Ross's prints were in the police database due to a previous DUI charge, and Saratoga police were able to use the info to find his trailer behind his mother's mobile home. Charlotte was found unharmed in a cabinet inside the camper and was reunited with her parents 48 hours after her disappearance. An arrest of arson is made.
Samantha S. O'Neill is alleged to have started the fire and to have known people were inside the two-story home when it was set ablaze. Miss O'Neill is currently being charged with arson in the second degree, attempted murder, burglary, and criminal possession of a weapon. She's expected to appear in court on October 24th.
Last night, the Oswego Board of Education voted on whether or not to join a lawsuit against the social media companies over their effects on student mental health.
National voter
is likely to join this suit, standing alongside both Fulton and Mexico, becoming the third district in the country to join one of over 600 districts nationwide. SUNY Oswego's theater department presents the 8th annual Cemetery Ghost and History Tour on October 28th at 2 p.m. Students will bring Oswego tales to life with costumes, acting, and a touch of Oswego pride. The event will touch on Dr. Mary Walker's story and her contributions to Oswego. Admission is free, but be sure to grab your tickets before they sell out. With the 2024 presidential election quickly approaching, it's important to make sure that you register to vote if you're able. This week's voter registration week on campus, and students are being encouraged to do just that. WTOP reporter Riley Jones has more.
This week is National Voter Registration Week, and to celebrate, SUNY Oswego will be holding several different events in order to increase student engagement. Throughout the week, the Penfield Library will have supplies to make your own I Voted pin. Earlier today, I was able to speak with Kelsey Jones, Oswego's Program Coordinator for Civic Engagement and Community Service, about the importance of voter registration.
We do it all on a nonpartisan level, so we really encourage students to use their voices and register to vote, and vote however they would like to, whether that be in their local election through absentee ballots while they're at school, or vote absentee for federal elections like the presidential election.
Vote Oswego is an important part of campus and helps students get their voices out to the world. But Kelsey wanted to stress that voting is not just important, but also very easy.
All your Board of Elections. We help students realize where they are registered to vote, help them re-register with a new address if that's what they wish, and we also kind of just full circle help them kind of realize how to take that next step in being a civic citizen.
If you're not registered to vote, there will be many resources across campus to help you learn how throughout the week. And Vote Oswego is always available to help students make their voices heard. I'm Riley Jones for WTOP-10 News.
Earlier tonight, the Storytellers Guild also held a game night in which participants got to learn about the issues with gerrymandering and the further importance of voting. These are just some of the ways that Vote Oswego is getting students engaged this week. Felt pretty warm out there, huh?
Definitely. Let's take a look at your forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist
meteorologist Cody Schiller. Currently, it has been warmer, and the warm conditions will continue for the next couple of days. Now, the real question comes down to, are we going to have any bad weather? Will it rain? And of course, will fall weather return in time for this holiday weekend? More on that later. Back to the desk.
Julia Giglio of SUNY Oswego's English department and her husband have just released their second book, The Trouble with Tinsel, following their first novel's release in 2022. Novel writing allows them to connect with their students through the challenges of world building and the pain of meeting deadlines. They will be hosting a book signing at River's End Bookstore in Oswego on Tuesday, October 10th at 5 p.m. Still ahead tonight, Speaker of the House is out and how it happened.
Plus, TSA is on track to surpass a record set last year, but that's not a good thing.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what?
Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
All right, continuing this story about what the weather conditions will be like on this holiday weekend. The current conditions outside right now in Oswego is 65 degrees, and it feels like 65, with calm winds and a perfect night with very few clouds, so a perfect night for stargazing. Now for tomorrow, for getting ready for tomorrow, it is going to be warmer than normal, 83-degree high with light winds, so it definitely is going to be warmer. You're definitely going to want to bring a light sweater, t-shirts, and shorts, not your typical fall attire of sweatshirts and jeans. Now for tomorrow morning, we are going to be talking about, by 9 a.m., a 65-degree start with light winds again. So it's definitely going to be warmer than normal when you're getting out to head to classes, work. And then the story later on this week, we're talking about the rain that is going to come later this week. It's been pretty dry for the most part the last couple of weeks, but we're Friday going to start to see some not so good weather, especially on a holiday weekend. We can see by Thursday night into Friday that rain is going to start coming into the picture with the likelihood of showers and steady rain becoming gradually more likely as we get into Saturday. Now, currently, another big picture is the temperature. It's been quite warm the past day, and it's going to continue for the next couple of days. But over the next week, we are going to start to see a big decrease in temperatures, to see below average temperatures, and make it feel like autumn finally. Now, the 7-day forecast, as you can see, is 83 degrees tomorrow, 80 degrees Thursday, partly sunny. So we have this nice warm weather, almost our last bit of summer we're going to be having. But then as we get into Friday, we start to see that cool down as well as showers. Once we get into Saturday and Sunday, we start to see the temperature really start to decline down into the 50s, with lows getting into the 40s at night. And those chances of showers continue to grow across the week. And that's it for the forecast. Back to the desk.
The Oswego City Police Department posted to X today about their plans for National Coffee with a Cop Day. They will be hosting a celebration tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., where the public can enjoy a lovely cup of coffee and talk with the members of the department. The address for the event is 120 East Bridge Street or the East Side Stewards.
Hundreds more auto workers are losing their jobs. General Motors and Ford announced that they are laying off around 500 workers between two companies. GM is laying off 164 workers at stamping plants in Parma, Ohio, and Marion, Indiana. Ford is laying off 330 workers at a stamping plant in Chicago and engine plant in Lima, Ohio. This comes shortly after GM already laid off more than 1,800 workers and Ford 600. United Auto Workers Union leaders say the manufacturers are only doing it to put pressure on its members to resolve the strike quickly. The automakers say the layoffs are due to slowdowns in the manufacture process caused by strikes.
The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, is forecasting that last year's records are going to be broken by the end of 2023. The agency said that it has intercepted 5,072 firearms at airport security checkpoints so far this year. At the current rate, the TSA said it will likely surpass last year's record of 6,542 firearms. Chaos on Capitol Hill. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is ousted from his post as House Speaker. Gloria Pazmino explains.
Office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
A revolt on Capitol Hill. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy put his political life on the line Tuesday, calling a vote on a motion to oust him from his post. That motion passed by a vote of 216 to 210. The effort was led by Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida and comes just days after McCarthy relied on Democrats to pass a stopgap spending bill to avert a government shutdown. The move to oust McCarthy is yet another escalation of long-standing tensions between McCarthy and a bloc of conservative hardliners in his party.
If you throw a speaker out that has 99% of their conference, that kept government open and paid the troops, I think we're in a really bad place for how we're going to run Congress.
As expected, no Democrats came to McCarthy's aid.
This is not a Democratic problem. This is a Republican problem. They supposedly have the majority. They should be able to pick their own speaker.
Kevin McCarthy is not trustworthy. We don't trust him. Their own conference doesn't trust him.
McCarthy says he will fight it out on the House floor, even if it means running for Speaker again. In the meantime, Republicans frustrated with Gaetz as they brace for the impact of a paralyzed government.
It definitely puts the majority in jeopardy when you see disunity.
I think it's sending a terrible signal to the electorate in advance of the 24 election.
I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
Following this historic vote, we're seeing something that's never happened before in American history: a speaker removed from his post and one of the three branches of American government without a leader.
In lighter governmental news, Democratic Senator LaFonso Butler was sworn into Senate by Vice President Kamala Harris earlier today. Butler made history as the first black lesbian to enter Congress, as she is the only black woman currently serving in the Senate. She was appointed by California Governor Gavin Newsom to fill the vacant seat left by the death of Senator Dianne Feinstein.
When WTOP-10 nightly news continues, a new breakthrough COVID vaccine has surfaced.
And a deep dive into screening for breast cancer. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10. Here is your health and consumer report. A new COVID vaccine is soon to be released after its recent approval by the CDC. Most COVID vaccines are mRNA, but our newest one from Novavax is a protein-based non-mRNA made for ages 12 and up. It mainly targets the XBB Omicron subvariant, as well as most dominant strain in the U.S., EG5.
The car industry has faced troubles this year with the United Auto Workers strike, inflated gas prices, and increasing interest rates. General Motors has reported a 21% increase in sales in the third quarter. Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler, has reported a 1% drop, and Ford is expected to report an 8% increase tomorrow.
While the annual death rate of breast cancer is declining, it is still the leading cause of cancer death for women overall. CNN's Mandy Gathering has more on this importance of being screened early and often on today's Health Minute.
I was like, what is this?
In just weeks, Felicia Brown went from finding a lump in the shower to a diagnosis of stage 3 triple-negative breast cancer. After that came 6 months of chemo, then a double mastectomy and radiation treatments.
If it had not have been for me noticing that what I had wasn't there the day before, I probably wouldn't have been here.
The American Cancer Society says early detection is critical, and so is knowing your breast cancer risk.
Breast cancer screening is much more than just about your age. It's about your family history, your genetics, if you know them, and your own personal medical history.
When to start screening will depend on your risk. The organization says women at average risk for breast cancer should begin talking to their doctor about the best time to start screenings in their early 40s. By age 45, there should be a mammogram every year.
Grab your girlfriends, support each other in breast cancer screening.
Women at high risk for breast cancer should get a breast MRI and mammogram every year starting around age 30, and everyone should pay attention to changes in their bodies.
Here I am, almost 17 years cancer-free. And I just continue to just live in that. And I thank God and my family every day.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The factory may be coming to you in your local Mexican chain restaurant as Chipotle teams up with Hyphen Prototype to make a salad-making robot. The machine would be able to take about 65% of orders and could make a salad or bowl using a conveyor belt and dispensers at the end of the belt. An employee would add finishing touches and the lid. Coming up in sports is Luke Roddy.
Hey Luke, can you give us a quick preview?
Hey guys, stay tuned for all the latest sports news. The MLB wildcard gets underway, and 2 Oswego Lakers are making a splash. That and more next.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. I'm your sports guy, Luke Ratty, and let's get down to it. Oswego State Athletics announced their September Oswego Health Athletes of the Month earlier today. Ellie Decker of women's cross country, as well as Kieran Gilroy of men's soccer, have been chosen for their successes. Decker has finished top 10 on 3 separate occasions this month alone, placing 9th, 4th, and 2nd, respectively. Gilroy has also been exceptional for his team, leading the Lakers with 3 goals and 6 points. These Lakers are really making a name for themselves, and the season's only just begun. The Oswego women's tennis team will look to bounce back from their loss to the Geneseo Knights when they travel to SUNY Cortland to take on the Red Dragons. The Lakers have won 2 of their last 3 and will look to get back to an even record. The Cortland Red Dragons are on fire, having won 3 of the last 4 matches and are currently 2nd in SUNYAC play. It's sure to be a good match. Game is scheduled for Wednesday at 4 p.m. Jordan Montgomery of the Texas Rangers put on a clinic in Game 1 of the Wild Card Series, as Texas would come into Tropicana Field and stun the Tampa Bay Rays. Montgomery pitched a masterful 7 innings of work, allowing 0 runs on 6 hits with 5 strikeouts. The Rays' defense was shockingly abysmal in this game, giving up 4 errors, which led to 2 runs being scored. Corey Seager would collect 2 hits for the Rangers, and Texas now leads the Wild Card Series 1-0. The Detroit Lions welcomed back their speedy receiver, Jamison Williams, to their training facility earlier today. Williams was originally suspended 6 games for violating the NFL's gambling policy and betting on a non-football sport from the workplace. To the second-year whiteout's surprise, the league revised their gambling policies, and Williams was allowed to return to the team after missing just 4 games. Williams is elated to be back and help the NFC North leading Lions continue to improve as the season progresses. The Seattle Seahawks came into MetLife Stadium on Monday Night Football and shut the door on the New York Football Giants. Defense was the story in this game, as the Seahawks would put up a total of 11 sacks, along with 3 turnovers and a touchdown. Devin Witherspoon was the star of this game, putting up 2 sacks and scoring a 97-yard pick six in the third quarter, which would ultimately wrap the game up. The Hawks soar to 3-1, while the Giants plummet to 1-3.
Thank you. Stick around.
About a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Before we go, Fat Bear Week.
It's that time of the year where bears duke to see who's the chunkiest.
In an elimination-style bracket, users can learn about the lives and histories of certain bears.
Voting begins tomorrow. Make sure to go to fatbearweek.org and pick your favorite bear. Talk about how awesome some bears are.
Okay, so this one is obviously focused mainly on grizzly bears, right? Fat Bear Week is almost exclusively about them, and it's about their sort of reversal of a weight loss journey. So when a bear comes out of hibernation, it is extremely skinny because it's used up all of its fat over the winter, and then over the course of the summer, they get chunky again, and we are rating them.
Real chunky, real chunky. I actually personally like polar bears more than grizzly bears. If we're gonna get into favorites here, I just think they look just nicer, and I just enjoy seeing a polar bear out in the wild more than I would see a grizzly bear, because grizzly bears are terrifying, and I would not last. So
That is true. That is true. Now, do polar bears hibernate? Because technically they just live in winter year-round, don't they?
I think that's right. Yeah, they just are always out and about looking for fish and ice water and just doing their thing. I've never seen one hibernate, and I don't think they do, honestly. So.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts?
Be sure to check out the women's tennis match tomorrow against SUNY Copeland. It's tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's sure to be a great match, so check that out tomorrow, 4 p.m.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and have a great night.